What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update, guys. This is coming over in Fulton County, Georgia, on that district attorney, Miss Fani Willis. We had recently seen her, speaking out in multiple interviews, stating that she couldn't wait to get back to the prosecution of Donald Trump and the 14 co-defendants in that racketeering case, guys. We got news and an update coming for her today, coming from that judge, Scott McAfee. He's dealing a blow and a backfire on Fani Willis, stating that she may not be able to get back to this case as soon as she thought, guys. I'm excited to get in this update, see exactly what's going on there, how Fani Willis is probably still going to get tossed off this case. So we're going to get straight into the clip, and I'll get my thoughts on the back end, guys. Definitely stick around to the end so you guys get my thoughts on the back end. And also, YouTube, push this video out. Definitely stick around until the end, you guys. Yo, let's get straight into it. Before we can do that, though, make sure you guys hit that like button, guys, and also hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. Let's get into it, y'all.
Well, today, Fani Willis thinks she's going back to court to prosecute Trump, and Miss Merchant of the defense, Mike Roman's defense, says not so fast, Fani. It's all going to come down to what Judge McAfee does this Thursday. So let's get caught up here. There's two articles I'd like to present to you real quick. Oh, and welcome to Doug in Exile. I'm Doug Tenaple. This is where the happy patriots are. Come hang with us. Let's do the news together. You'll be all caught up on Fani Willis by the time we're done. This is going to be a little one from ABC News right here. Trump election interference case picks back up after Fani Willis disqualification bid. Judge Scott McAfee will hear motions Thursday from Trump and a co-defendant. The judge overseeing the former President Donald Trump's Georgia election interference case has scheduled a Thursday hearing to hear oral arguments on a number of motions from Trump and his co-defendant, David Schaefer. The hearing will be the first since the failed disqualification effort against Fulton County Attorney Fani Willis, who brought the case. Not so fast, that's being appealed. Remember, comes after Judge Scott McAfee granted Trump permission to appeal his disqualification ruling, but vowed to move the case forward in the meantime. So that's just one article, okay? That's just ABC's take. If I go over here to USA Today, there's a lot more meat on it. I don't want to read all of this. And look, there's a flash sale. Will Trump election fraud trial come before the election? Fani Willis and defense lawyer clash. They disagree on that. Let's get to it.
Well, I mean, look, if it can be done this summer, right, and her team is ready and all the defendants are ready and the judge is ready, that would be a perfectly appropriate thing to do. The problem is that it is not entirely up to her. Last summer, this case was filed, and it was already going to be ambitious, even at that point in time, to bring a case like this, 19 defendants, complicated issues, high-profile issues, novel issues, to trial in a year.
I'll let you decide if you think she's gonna make it by then. District Attorney Fani Willis, in her public comments since avoiding being disqualified in Georgia election fraud prosecution of Trump, said she is ready to bring the former president and 14 co-defendants to trial well before the November 5th election. Not so fast, Fani. It doesn't work that fast. I know that's her intention. She's going, quick, panic, get him back in court. Let's go.
Where we are now, there's still a bunch of pending issues, significant pretrial issues. And of course, there's still the defendant's intended appeal from Judge McAfee's decision allowing Willis and her office to stay on the case.
The train is coming, Willis said.
I understand the train is coming. We're ready. We will be ready whenever the case goes to trial.
In a weekend interview with CNN, prominent Georgia defense lawyer Ashley Merchant, so she's the blonde lady that we saw defending Mike Roman, who first disclosed Willis's romantic relationship with prosecutor Nathan Wade back in a bombshell January 8th court filing, says, not so fast, Fani. We're ready, Merchant said Monday in response to Willis's comments at a charity Easter egg hunt Saturday in Atlanta. But Merchant, who represents one of Trump's 14 co-defendants in the election subversion case, said in an interview Monday that an appeal of a Georgia's ruling rejecting Willis's disqualification likely will take many months and will push the trial back past the November election that will likely will pit Trump against President Joe Biden. She represents Trump 2020 campaign official Michael Roman, who's charged with conspiring with local Trump supporters in Georgia and Washington, D.C. to overturn the election Trump lost to Biden in the Peach State in 2020.
So the case is now going to go up to the Court of Appeals. The Court of Appeals can decide. They can either send it back and say, you know what, you are disqualified. You need a new prosecutor. They can send it back and say, Judge McAfee, you actually made some errors. We think the actual improprieties here is enough, and tell him to go ahead and fix it. Or they could say, we're not going to decide this, and then it's going to go up to the Supreme Court.
Days later, McAfee, sorry, I've had you guys correct me on the pronunciation of his name, that it's McAfee, and I botch it all the time. Okay, I may never correct it. Days later, McAfee allowed Trump and at least 8 other co-defendants to take an emergency appeal on this ruling to the Georgia State Court of Appeals. The defense lawyers, including Merchant and Steve Sadow for Trump, he's the pit bull, not only want Willis and her entire office thrown off the case, but the charges dismissed altogether, as some of them petitioned in their initial court motions back in January. So they could try to run the appeals this Thursday and just dump her off the case. We'll see what McAfee says. Why Willis thinks the trial could still go before Election Day. In her exclusive interview on CNN Saturday, Willis acknowledged that the election racketeering case against Trump and others was clouded by more than 2 months of legal wrangling over the motion to disqualify her. Through it all, however, Willis and her team never stopped working on the underlying case. No trial date has been set, and Willis said there's no reason to delay it. No, my team has been continuing to work on the case, and all the while that was going on, we were writing responses and briefs. We were still doing the case in the way that it needed to be done, she said. I don't feel like we've been slowed down at all. Oh, man, is she delusional.
So, it's not going to be decided quickly. It's going to take at least a couple months for this to work its way through the system to determine whether or not she actually is disqualified.
Okay, so does this happen before the election?
I don't see any way that this could happen before the election.
I do think there are efforts to slow down this train, but the train is coming, she says, and Fani's the caboose. Lawyers for Trump and other defendants have 10 days from McAfee's ruling to file an appeal. That's coming. Then the Georgia Appellate Court has 45 days to decide whether to even hear the appeal. So unless they smack it down fast, this is 45 days out, even if they make a decision this week. If the appeals court agrees to hear the case, it could potentially disqualify Willis and the entire Fulton County District Attorney's Office, or it could order other fixes or uphold McAfee's ruling and allow the case to go forward. So guys, we're talking 45 days out if they agree to have the appeal. And they can sit there and just sit on it forever. And by the way, I think still the stench in the air is Letitia James. I think the appeals court in New York smacking her down for a massive overreach, cutting that bond amount for Trump less than in half, $100-something million instead of $450 million. So, and giving him 10 extra days, that I think that could waft over here to Fulton County, Georgia, where McAfee goes, I don't want to be another Democrat judge just being reversed by an appellate court.
And the reason why that one is particularly important is a very practical reason. I'm sure folks will immediately recognize. The judge is not going to want to have a trial if the verdict from that trial later needs to be thrown out because the prosecutor on the case was disqualified in the interim.
So he might be very likely to help push Trump up to the appellate court.
So he's not going to want to have a trial before that is fully resolved at the appeal level, because it would be a waste of time and it would be bad for him personally if he got reversed and the trial was meaningless.
And say, yeah, let the big boys up there take this on. A lot of lawyers have suspected that's what McAfee was doing all along, that he was trying to get it out of his hands. If it gets appealed, Fani, you're not going to be prosecuting a RICO case against Trump and his buddies. It's not. I don't think it's going to happen, but let's find out. I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Is this going to appeal, or is Fani going to get her day in court and start hitting Trump?
Yo, there we have it, guys. Coming from our friend Doug in Exile. I'll definitely be sure to leave that original video link down in the description box below. For those of you who want to go over there and check that out, also, you guys go over there and show our friend Doug a bit of love. Oh my goodness, guys. We're seeing Fani Willis, the district attorney over in Fulton County, Georgia, now in a delusional state, guys, where she is going out and speaking out in these interviews, saying that, she is going to be prosecuting, persecuting Donald Trump, and those co-defendants in that, racketeering case after the, judge's grant that she can stay on the case. She thinks that she's in the green and, that it's all over, guys, but that is not the case. We already know that appeal is incoming. Judge Scott McAfee had all the evidence to toss her off this case, but he decided, he wanted to keep it off of him. He didn't want the decision ultimately to lie in his, in his lap. So he's going to try to toss this off into, appellate division court, ultimately letting them be the ones to decide. And if they don't feel comfortable, guys, they can toss this one up to the Supreme Court, guys. But we're seeing that, this case is going to be on a standstill, no matter if delusional Fani Willis believes that, she's going to be able to speed up, and keep this one going while, this appeal process is going on. Just like we're seeing numerous sources saying, Judge Scott McAfee, already knows this is such a touchy subject and a touchy case, guys. There's all eyes on him. The last thing he wants to have is his judgment to be reversed at the end of, at the end of this trial and into this case. So he's definitely going to, I can see him, pausing this case on Thursday, at least until the appellate division, does their thing and decides whether or not they're going to hear, the appeal, or, they're going to go ahead and uphold his original judgment, guys. Honestly, I have no doubt that the appellate division will want to get a second set of eyes, a different perspective on this case, because all the evidence that was brought about against the rogue district attorney, guys, the way she has misused and abused the justice system in order to bring about, this weaponization of the Department of Justice system against her political opponents, seeking to, enrich herself and gain, this political fame that she's trying to get, guys. Not to mention the big kicker, which is the fact that she lied up on the stand, guys, perjuring herself on the stand with her boyfriend, Nathan Wade. He got to get tossed off the case, and she got to stay on for some reason. We can't wait to see, what the appellate division has to do when they get their hands on this one. She's going to get tossed off also. This whole thing is going to get, thrown out. Excited to see what's going on there, guys. Definitely hop in the comment section and let me know your thoughts, though. How far up do you guys think we can get this appeal to go up, guys? Definitely hop in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys hit that share button and share this out to as many Facebook friends as possible, guys. Share the truth. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button. Doesn't cost a thing. Hit that like button for your boy, and also hit that subscribe button, guys. We're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. I'll catch you guys on the next week. Yo, what's happening, Retro Fam? Are you guys looking for a way to connect with your boy Retro and the Retro Fam on a day-to-day basis? Look no further, guys. Memberships have now been launched where you can gain exclusive access to chat with your boy Retro and the community and gain perks, guys. Just hop in the description box below and check out the link for memberships, guys. You can subscribe on a monthly basis to chat and have exclusive perks with your boy Retro and the Retro community, guys. Check that out in the description box today.